There's a lot of equipment here. I'm telling you right now, with one kettlebell, you can get an awesome workout. So check it out, all right? Tip number one, I'm gonna show you the hip hinge. If you don't know how to hip hinge, you can't swing a kettlebell. Here's what a hip hinge is. You take a dowel, okay? See, this is just a broomstick, real simple piece. You put it on your lower back. You see how it's touching my butt, my tailbone? You see how there's a natural arch right there in my back? You see how it's touching my thoracic spine and the back of my head? You should be able to hinge your hips, slightly bend your knees, and keep those 3 points of contact. Meaning it's on my lower back, it's on my thoracic spine, and it's on the back of my head. If you cannot do that, that's where you have to start. You have to start there. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. If you are doing this, you're flexing your lower back. The kettlebell swing is a hip hinge. It's not a squat. You're not squatting the bell. Okay, again, I didn't go into detail about what it took to become a master RKC, but I will tell you that I've been doing this for 18 years. Now you can go on YouTube and watch all kinds of people do all kinds of stuff. All that I can tell you is I've done this for a long time and studied with the best guys in the world. Pavel Satsolin, I'll put a link right here, was on Joe Rogan's podcast. And you can listen to Pavel speak. He's one of my mentors. He is the person that I learned under for the Kettlebell Challenge, and I didn't just teach 1 or 2 or 3. First, I had to assist at almost half a dozen before I was able to teach, and then ran my own a few times here at Fit for Life. So I really, really know my stuff. I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that to impress upon you that what I'm giving you here is hard-earned information. So take it for what it's worth, but I'm telling you right now, you got to start with the hip hinge and getting it right. That means getting that dowel, hinging your hips, making sure your spine is long, making sure all 3 points of contact are there. For the sake of time, I'm going to go fast because we don't want these videos to be too long. Number 2 is called axial extension. So we don't want to just hinge the hips. We do want to hinge the hips, but we also want to make sure that the spine is long. So I'm going to do 5 reps for each thing that I go over, so you can see what this looks like. So I'm going to start hinging my hips. I push my butt back, bell slightly in front of me. I swing it back. Okay? So I'm thinking about not just hinging my hips, but I'm thinking about shooting the back of my spine right up here, the top of my spine, my cervical spine. That way, while my lower back goes that way, I'm making my spine long in this hip hinge position. Number 3, big toes down and your knees track your toes, meaning that your toes can't wiggle around. Guys, notice that I'm in bare feet. That is a big part of RKC training, is barefoot training or minimal shoes, meaning your shoes should be able to move around, not these big, giant laced up sneakers. You want to have the ankles should be able to move, the feet should move. Remember, about 25% of the bones in your body are below, right there. See where the bottom of my pants are? The bottom of those pants, 25% of the bones in your body. There's a lot of joints, they're meant to move, they're not meant to be locked up. So you need strong feet. So if you notice that you're cheating and your big toe is coming up off the ground, if you notice that when you swing, your knees are turning in or doing something like that, you got to think about keeping those big toes down and making sure that your knees track your toes. One of the things that's happening there is likely you're very tight up in the piriformis. That's why your toes are moving around. That's a different video. But guys, I put out a whole bunch of videos before this. We're in the middle of a 40-day challenge. So if you go back in my YouTube channel, you're gonna see me talking about different techniques and different exercises, as well as different stretches. Check them out. So let's do another 5 swings, big toes down. And I put it down. Next, eyes look to the horizon. So your neck shouldn't be snapping around. I'm looking kind of that way, all right? That way. Not up, not too far down, kind of straight ahead. So here it is again. Next, my arms are like ropes. My arms are like ropes, meaning that they're relaxed. No wrist extension. Project the bell straight ahead. So there's a lot there. I am not pulling the kettlebell. That's one of the most common mistakes, is to think about pulling the bell. I have my arms relaxed. I'm letting the hips project the bell forward, not up. I'm not pulling the bell up. Remember, we're trying to strengthen the hips, okay? I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that the kettlebell swing has dramatically improved my deadlift and my squat. I could put links up here, squatting 465 pounds raw. I could put another link up here, me deadlifting as much as 550 pounds raw. In the AAU challenge that I did over there, I was 165, deadlifting 523 raw. Again, 165 pounds. So guys, I'm telling you all this because this stuff really does work if you do it right. So watch. My arms are like ropes. I'm relaxed. So now I hinge my hips. I knock out 5. Okay, what I'm not doing is I'm not flexing my wrists at the top like a motorcycle. I just need to grip the bell like that. See that hook grip? And guys, by the way, that's all you really need to do for pull-ups or most things that you're rowing or pulling. This is a very, very strong grip. That hook grip right there. You don't need to overly grip things. Next is the fact that you're projecting the bell straight ahead. Okay, so straight ahead, not up, not too far down. Number 6, the pelvis. The pelvis and abs. So when I'm talking about your pelvis, I am saying that you need to tuck your pelvis. Tuck your pelvis at the top of the swing. Tuck your pelvis. So I did videos where I showed you guys how to stretch your pelvis, but this is what's happening. I'm getting tight. Tight my glutes, tight my abs. Real tight at the top. It's glutes and abs. If you're tight there, go back and watch the video where I talk about how to loosen those things up. So watch the top of my swing. Watch how I'm activating the glutes and the abs. All right, you got it? Next, breathing. So exhale at the top of the swing. So we're breathing in at the bottom, exhaling at the top. You hear me kind of spitting the air out at the top. Get it out. So you breathe in and then exhale at the top. So once again, big toes down, right? Remember everything we've been talking about, axial extension, hip hinge. All right, you got it? Next, number 8, don't lean back at the top. Here's what I mean by that. There's another common mistake. The bell's going that way, so people try to lean back too far to counterbalance that. That is not the way to do it. So this is wrong. That's wrong. You cannot put that extension in your back unless you want to get hurt. The way to mitigate that is to squeeze your ass and abs. If you do that, you're not going to be leaning back. It's much harder to lean back. Let's put it that way. So you're going to get up real tall at the top, snap the hips, squeeze your butt hard. Fantastic. Number 9, don't let the bell drop too low at the bottom of the swing. People let this happen all the time, meaning that they let the bell come way down here. No go! That's a good way to injure your lower back, put you in way too much flexion. Think about there being a bucket right there, right above your knees, and you're trying to swing the bell through the bucket. Here we go. And then finally, number 10, power through the floor at the top of the swing. So what do I mean by that? I'm thinking about not just squeezing my butt and my abs at the top, which is super, super critical, but I'm also thinking about driving the weight through the floor at the top. So at the top of the swing, drive it through. Let's see. All right? You guys want one more trick? I'll show you one more. The tallow swing. This is especially important for what we were talking about, number 5. Treat your arms like ropes. You take a lighter bell, you take a towel, you just put it through, and just above the handle, about an inch, you just swing the bell. If you see the bell do this, boom, you're doing it wrong. It should be like a pendulum at the top. That's how you know that your arms are like ropes. They are a part of the towel. You're not pulling. If you're pulling, then this bell will go all over the place. It'll look like this. And it'll just go haphazard. You get it?